America roars, liberals fume. That's the focus of tonight's angle. It turns out that Americans like muscular, targeted military strikes to defend America's interests.
It turns out Americans like what they deem to be successful foreign policy operations. And in this case, they view the ousting of Maduro, at least up to this point, as a successful one, and therefore the support way up.
And now it looks like Trump may have gotten a sneak preview of our military action against Maduro. This happened last June when he visited Fort Bragg. Nothing like having a commander-in-chief who our troops actually respect and genuinely like. But for 4 years under Joe Biden, America was a global laughingstock. Our government consisted of a declining president, a dim-witted cackler of a vice president, a mealy-mouthed Secretary of State, and a doddering defense secretary. And a great power, let's face it, doesn't leave its border wide open or turn a military withdrawal into a deadly humiliation. And it doesn't allow our adversaries to move boldly into its own hemisphere as China did in Latin America. With Biden and his team of weaklings in charge, the broad consensus was that global power was shifting away from America to Asia, to President Xi. But now, under President Trump, it increasingly looks like the future belongs to the United States of America. If you had $1 million to invest today, would you invest it in China or Germany? Or would you put it in the United States? Obviously, the answer is you'd invest it right here. The experts, remember they predicted economic doomsday last spring because of tariffs? Well, they're embarrassed again. U.S. stocks closed at another record high today, driven by investor optimism about the future under Trump. And Trump knows, look, you can't have peace without strength, and that means economic strength. Trillions in investments are pouring in, but that just makes liberals mad. Because the stronger America gets, the more miserable the Democrats are, and the more vicious the left becomes. And remember, this is nothing new. They were furious during the Reagan years, too. I was there. Nothing made them happy. Not a booming economy, not winning the Cold War. Not at all. And today, liberals are more upset over the arrest of Nicolas Maduro than when Maduro stole his election and threw political prisoners in jail.
Things got worse, not better so far.
The United States seemingly has no strategy, no end game, no plan.
This foreign policy is clearly much more neo-imperialist.
President Trump is isolating the United States from the countries we should be in great connection with.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. The opposite is true. Our flawless military action in Venezuela has strengthened our hand across the globe, which, again, is why they're so angry. Politico had to admit that Trump's superpower flex in Venezuela was a, quote, humbling blow to Putin. And we know that China is fuming because this is a serious setback to their South American fantasy. They started fulminating immediately after the news broke of Maduro's capture, issuing a pathetic demand that we release the dictator and his wife. Oh, okay. Yeah, as soon as you release the COVID files, guys, we'll release Maduro. And as for Europe's vague statements urging restraint and respect for international law, all I can say is, fix your own house. Start paying for your own defense, then you can get back to us. America's back. But since, again, they prefer the European model to our own, Democrats are seething. The entire idea of American exceptionalism is now and always has been repugnant to people like Angus King.
To the extent that we are diminishing our relationships with the Europeans, with Denmark, with NATO, undermining relationships with our Asian allies, poking them with tariffs unnecessarily, those kinds of things are a serious dilution of America's authority and power around the world.
Oh, wait, okay. First of all, what is wrong with the poor people of Maine, the state of Maine? I love you, but what is... Does he really believe that America is stronger when China has a stranglehold on Venezuela? Or when China dominates key industries in our own hemisphere? Or when nations cheat on trade deals with impunity? His position is asinine. Obviously, we're better off if we level the playing field on trade. Obviously, if an evil communist regime is controlling the biggest oil reserves in the world, we're in trouble. The truth is, by moving against Maduro, Trump has shown the world that the United States is no longer a paper tiger. When our interests, our security, our future independence are threatened, we will use every tool, including military might, to defend our country, especially in our own hemisphere. So gone is Biden's rainbow military. Instead, our armed forces are once again focused on killing our enemies. But naturally, look, the next question in Venezuela is now what? Hope is not a strategy, and the press is assuming, as always, that the worst is going to happen.
It is a mess. Trump is right in saying that. But I haven't heard anything yet that tells me how they're going to transform the mess into a viable, stable country.
Well, we'll see, but some patience is in order, I think. The idea that Venezuela can have an election next week, it's fanciful. We should neither overextend ourselves there nor go totally hands-off. We can't. Our next steps in Venezuela will be challenging and risky. Protecting our interests over 250 years, it's always been risky. But what Biden was incapable of understanding is that being an effective president requires having more than grand ideas. It requires bold action and a well-articulated, clear strategy. And that's something that Trump team should keep in mind. With every press conference, every public statement made, every post on Truth or X, remind Americans, this is not a war. This is an action to secure our future, to keep us safe, and to counter the biggest threats to our prosperity and security. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.